Would you like a chocolate?
Oh, thank
Forrest
you.
Gump is a 1994 film that follows the story of Forrest Gump, who goes from one thing to another. He starts off his life with braces on his legs, unable to walk, and it's very painful for him.
Same as everybody else. You are no different.
Your boy's different.
But eventually he starts to learn how to walk again. And Forrest Gump is telling his story to people while is sitting waiting for the bus.
Funny what a young man recollects.
So he goes through his life explaining how he went from having braces to going to serve in the military, to making friends, to getting out of the military and starting his own shrimp business, to becoming a millionaire. And it shows, this movie shows Forrest Gump's life in a 2-hour movie. And it's just really interesting to see how he portrays his story, how he tells it, and how he's always going back to one person, which is Jenny, the love of his life.
He was my most special friend. My only friend.
We was together all the time. We was like peas and carrots, Jenny and I.
She is throughout his story. She's with him sometimes, and then she leaves him, and she's got her whole life is a mess. But Forrest Gump really just tries to explain exactly what his story is, how he was awarded like the Medal of Honor, and the most famous thing that everybody remembers about him, if you've ever heard of Forrest Gump, is how he ran across the United States multiple times. And the Run, Forrest, Run!
Run, Forrest! Hey, stupid, run!
Is the most popular thing that everybody knows about this movie. But there's so much more to that. And I'm going to be honest, I have not seen this movie until just recently, and I was surprised. I mean, all I thought about was, oh, it's a Run, Forrest, Run. He's just going to run, and that's going to be what the whole movie's about. But I was surprised to watch the actual movie and to see him telling his story in the way that he told it, and I was just blown away. This was an amazing film. I really enjoyed how Tom Hanks took the character of Forrest Gump and told his story about how he, all the types of different things that he did, some of them which I've mentioned. But it was just really interesting to see that throughout the whole time, he was always focused on Jenny, the love of his life, and she wasn't really into him. I mean, when they were kids, they were really close, but then she went off. She wanted to be in Hollywood. She wanted to be famous. But then she came back to him.
Now, my mom was always telling me how miracles happen every day. Some people don't think so, Jenny! But they do.
And they actually had a child, and then she died, which was very sad. It was crushing. It made Forrest Gump's character arc even better. I think that Tom Hanks did a great job at portraying Forrest Gump. I think that Forrest Gump has one of the best character developments in cinema history for that time period. I really think that these types of movies need to be made more often. You walk away with films like this and you're like, wow, that was a great life that he lived and still was living. And it's just interesting to see how they can make a film like that. And I just love the story. It's very entertaining. It'll keep pretty much any type of viewer because it's so diverse in the fact that he's in the military in 1 minute, then he's a celebrity, and then he's a ping pong champion. I mean, there's something for everybody in this film, and I just think that it's really great to be able to see someone's life portrayed in just 2 hours. I mean, you could spend, it's just really entertaining the way that he tells it. And for content-wise, there's not too much wrong with it.
He'll be an All-American.
I gotta pee.
I believe he said he had to go pee.
I mean, there's a few words. You hear the mention of the F word, you kind of hear it once, and then you've got a couple S words, and then you got GDs, but nothing crazy for this film. There's a little bit of violent content since he is in the war. You do have some blood, a few people die, that kind of thing. For sexual content, Jenny does get mixed up with some wrong gangs, and you could see some pretty explicit costumes being worn. There's a couple of references of people sleeping together, and you see some of that on screen. No nudity, of course. But then you also got the drug content where people are seen doing drugs through needles, through drinking alcohol. So there is some content to be aware of, but I think for anybody 16 and above, there's nothing really that you have to worry about as long as you understand that type of content is in this film. But overall, I give it a 4 out of 5. It's a really great film to watch. to just appreciate the values of our lives and everything that we can do in them. It shows the kind of commitment that Forrest Gump had to the love of his life, the commitment he had to his job. He always did everything to the best of his ability because it's the way he was taught, and he never wanted to give up on what he knew was right. So I really think that you guys should watch this film. Let me know what you guys think about this film in the comments, and run, Forrest, run!
Life was like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.